Attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Salute Squad. Welcome to another episode of Fly High Productions with Mr. Follow Up. Today, man, I want to rap about it seemed like you know when we seek injustice, we got to see it all the way through. Uh, so it got me to thinking. Y'all must have forgot. Y'all must have forgot. Well, anyway, uh, y'all remember Tyree Nichols? You know, hashtag Tyree Nichols. Anyway, man, we we got old Demetrius Haley, one of the police officers, the Memphis police officers that was charged in the demise of Tyree Nichols. Uh, and as you know, I follow up on things, man, because I like to see when seeking justice, like I said, man, you got to follow it through. We just can't hashtag and forget about it. Uh, Anyway, man, like I say, we got Demetrius Haley in the news. And Demetrius Haley seemed to been making headways way before this incident occurred. Which brings about another question. I mean, could this have been prevented? Had they looked into this? Had they properly investigated these cases, these accusations on Demetrius Haley? Uh Yeah, he Demetrius Haley was uh, accused of a few things, man. Without misquoting anything, I'm just gonna get right on into it. Uh, it say here before a former Memphis police officer joined in the deadly beating of Tyree Nichols, prompting charges against him and four colleagues. Demetrius Haley incurred some policy violations and prior prison guard job his prison guard job and face accusations of excessive force that his department deemed unfounded or unsubstantiated. Substantiated. That was hard, y'all. According to newly unsealed personnel records, Demetrius Haley worked for the prison operated by the Shelby County Division of Corrections as a correctional officer from January 2015 into July 2020 when he resigned to join the Memphis Police Department. Let's see here. Okay, it say while working as a correctional officer, Haley accused of excessive force for using a chemical spray on inmate Cordelius Sledge in 2015. But an investigation found no violation of the department's use of force policies and the allegations were unsubstantiated. The record showed the Sledge was treated for a fractured right temporal bone and a uh, per- perforated eardrum, and the incident prompted 34 inmates, the entire cell block, to sign a letter to the corrections director asking for a response to the alleged abuse. Now, Sledge later filed a lawsuit against Haley and two other correctional officers, accusing Haley and another officer of punching him and a third of uh, slamming his head into the floor. The lawsuit was dismissed in federal court when the judge ruled in summary judgment in favor of officers over procedural issues. Of course. Now, Haley was found in violation of the department's professionalism, ethics, and conduct policy in 2015. According to the records, Haley gave confidential information to an inmate when he should not have and did not report when the inmate told him of his intent to smuggle it in contraband. He was getting written reprimand and was recommended to get refresher training of the policies. They told my man, you probably need to go through your 30-day process again, huh? Anyway, it says Haley also investigated and cleared on wrongdoing after an inmate accused him of using unnecessary force during a contraband search. Haley took the inmate to the ground to restrain him after the inmate put contraband in his mouth and hit Haley in the shoulder with his elbow, the documents showed. The inmate received an injury to his head, but investigators found that the use of force was justified. Haley told investigators he did not intend to hurt the inmate. Haley's attorney declined to comment on the newly released records. Haley's Shelby County personnel file was part of a cache of documents that a judge in February blocked from public view concerning the officer's charge in Nichols' death and the incident itself. The Associated Press and other media outlets intervened in a criminal case against the officers in March to argue the documents should be made public. Early last month, the judge allowed the files to be released. Most of the documents are held in the city of Memphis, where officials have said that they are still making redactions under the court's order so the files can be made public. Back in March, the city announced plans to release about 20 more hours of video and audio in the incident, in addition to administrative investigations findings for police and other departments, when the court stepped in to prohibit it. Wow. Uh, were they trying to hide something here? What's with the transparency? We need them to be a little more transparent. Why the court stepping in so much and prohibiting it? Like, man, release the footage, release the audio. Let's be transparent on this. Uh, we need all the evidence in order to make a proper judgment, and that would be releasing everything. Uh, but check this out, man. The news even had a little something that they had to say about this whole incident, and uh, I'm gonna run that footage and let y'all hear it for yourself. Mm, What happened here? I want to refresh. Okay. Sorry, squad. I got uh more footage. That was a little video I stumbled up on while I was reading the article, but this is the original one. We got a seven Memphis police officers that has been fired uh in involvement with the Tyree Nichols case. This is what the news had to say. Fox 13 Memphis. Uh, salute to them. Shout out to them for bringing us the footage.
Seventh Memphis police officer fired. Now, this comes almost a year after 5 former Memphis police officers were fired and charged with the murder of Tyree Nichols. A sixth officer, Preston Hemphill, was also fired but is not facing criminal charges.
Fox 13's Kayla Solomon is joining us live downtown. Kayla, you looked at those decertification documents. What was the first thing that really stood out to you?
Well, Darcy, for one, we know the name of that seventh officer. You see it right there in large. But on the second page is when we find January, do say a foot chase on January 7th, and the man involved in the chase died on January 10th. These dates line up with the Nichols timeline. Law officers trying to detain a man intervened and also did not report what happened to his supervisor. Blake's also bureau. Now we coming up at 10, we'll break down that timeline of everything that's happened from January 7th till now in terms of these 7 former officers who have been fired. Daryl.
And it's Fox 13's Kayla Solomon. Kayla, thank you for the update, and we will see you in. Meanwhile, 5 other former Memphis police officers charged in the death of Tyree Nichols were in court yesterday. Now, we learned that some of the defense attorneys faced an issue with some of the discovery that was turned over to them by the Shelby County District Attorney's Office. The issue was with videos. Not specifically. We don't know specifically.
Hey, I don't know if y'all caught that. He said these boys are they plead not guilty. Nah, he didn't say that. That ain't what he said. If he said that, I'm sure he didn't mean to say that. And if he meant to say that, I'm sure they didn't mean to say that. Not guilty? What are you not guilty of, man? What's the use of the footage if we ain't gonna use it? If we not gonna use that footage, what's the use of the implementing the footage as part of evidence in the case? Because clearly we all seen it, man. We all seen it. And just like they throw the book at one of us, if we plead not guilty and found guilty, man, I hope they throw the book at these cats, man. I hope they throw the book at these cats and give them the fullest for being as strong to stand up in there and say not guilty when it was recorded. Oh man. Now, I could see how they might get off on a technicality with pleading not guilty too. Now, it all depends on what they being charged with, and we seen here they these boys being charged with an M. Man, we can't let these boys. We okay. They beat their case. The state, somebody at the feds got to pick this back up, man, and we may not be able to get them on that M, but like I say, we seen the footage, and obviously, allegedly, we gonna leave that alone. We gonna move right. We gonna move right along. I'm gonna let my man here finish it out. Get off my soapbox real quick. Not guilty.
What the problem was, but the next report date is February 2nd. Trial date is still set for August 12th.
The 5 former Memphis police officers were also scheduled in federal court yesterday. Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, Emmett Martin, Desmond Mills, and Justin Smith were all scheduled to appear. The federal court hearing centered in on evidence released in the case. Now, last month, Desmond Mills Jr. pleaded guilty to federal charges, but his plea is still not guilty on state charges.
Not on state though, huh? Sound like they trying to play with semantics. Oh man, like I said, y'all, in order to seek justice, we got to see it through. Man, and when that thought hit my mind, I said, let me follow up on this, and that's what I ran across, and I had to bring this to y'all because these boys pleading for one not guilty, and the fact that Demetrius Haley, who's allegedly the ex of the female that Tyree Nichols was allegedly dating. You see how all that kind of tie in together? How you can see a motive there. And if I'm not mistaken, Demetrius Haley was also the guy that was snapping photos on the scene and sending to the ex-girlfriend as well, right? If I'm wrong, put it in the comment box. Let me know. But from my recollection and what I comprehended from the news clips or whatnot, the YouTube streets and all the other media outlets out here, it was Demetrius Haley. Anyway, folks, squad, I appreciate you once again. This is Fly High Productions with Mr. Follow Up. And this episode has been about the follow-up on Tyree Nichols. Do me a favor and hit that like button. Let's get this video out there and shake the algorithm up a little bit. And I'm gonna set a goal. I'm looking for let's get 1,000 likes on this video. Let's get 1,000 likes on this video. Let's shock the internet, man. A little shock value. It may not be all that, but we We want the internet to wonder why this video went viral so quick. So again, salute squad, uh, Fly High Productions with Mr. Follow Up, and I'm out.